in the naughty corner. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, La Fraise. We have Milo ready to work, we have tea, and it's Friday. And I know I told you just this, and will not do the Friday videos as much as I can. I really want to try to stop myself from posting. Yell at me if you see me post on Friday. But guys, I really missed something a little bit more casual. I realized that having only one video a week, it forces me to only have la creme de la creme, and I feel like that doesn't give me space to show you my new fabrics, my new books, and I just wanted to have something a bit more chill. So I have decided to allow myself a monthly vlog where I can either have little snippets from the month that, you know, I want to share and that fit nowhere, or something like this if I have fabric to share with you, news from school and everything. I just decided that I really wanted to do that. And also between the moment I said no more videos on Fridays and now, there's been a major shift in my work arrangement. So in the end, I decided to gift myself one Friday video a month. You might know that this is the third Friday video in a row, but I'm going to try to keep it as more the extra rare bonus and the one vlog a month. We're gonna see what this leads to. I have notes. Yeah, first I wanted to talk about school. So this week we have done a little bit of draping at school and it was really fun. So we have finished the proper introduction to sewing class. I've had my exam and you might have seen the video where I show you all of the skills we've learned. I realized I omitted one thing, but I feel like it's so irrelevant to any of you guys who are not in costume that it's fine. And I don't even know the word in English for that. I will insert the word in English on the screen and I will show you a photo of where you would use this. But basically you do a very, very thick gather that has a very strong construction. I didn't mention that in the video, but I guess that's fine. So now that we've finished with the introduction to sewing, we're doing costume workshop. And so we're starting with draping. So kind of following the history of clothing and started with draping. And then we'll move on to other things. I might chat a little bit about that, might be interesting for you guys. But so we've done draping. I'll show photos on the screen. We worked per pair, so obviously the draping that is on me that you see here, I haven't done it because you can't drape on yourself. But it's crazy because you might think like, okay, you drew a calico on yourself. No guys, this really took a long time. Like every fold in this photo has been hand shaped and kind of like carved almost. Like it was really, I think, a 45-minute work to make this happen. So draping, no joke. And then at the end of the class, after we did all of the antique draping, so the toga and the peplos, then we did actually more modern draping and I had a lot of fun. It was my very, very first time doing this. I never worked with a dress form before, so it was very exciting. First you know, I had the thing where you don't know how it's going to go and you've never done it, and I was kind of like, don't want to do this because I just didn't want to suck, but it went fine and I'm quite happy. And now I'm looking forward to next week where we need to experiment a little bit more and do, I think, one that's our proper final drape work. I mean, it's very early to have your final draping, but we're moving on to other things very quickly. So it's just a little stop in draping and then we're moving on. The next projects we are going to do, and it's going to be relevant because I'm going to show you fabric for all of this. The next projects we're going to do are going to be a suit bag, and basically they're making us do that for practical reason, which is we need to bring our projects to and from school somehow, and so they're making us do a bag so that we can bring them in something nice and waterproof. So that's one thing. And then we also doing a underskirt. What are we also making this year? Oh my god, all of the technical words I do not know in English. I'm going to have to look all of this up. Basically we're making the ancestor of pants. I'll also flash the name on the screen. So we're making that, basically ugly calico pants that you'll never wear. But yay for making that. And we're also making basically a middle-aged gown. Again, technical name here on screen. In second year, to keep going with all of the words I don't know, we're doing this, which is kind of a corset, but not really a corset, and we're making last word I don't know, which is a men's garment. And I'm not really sure what we're making in our third year. I don't know if it's 19th or 20th century, but I know that we're making a full woman outfit and a full men's outfit because we have women's workshop and men's workshop separately in the third year. I'll explain the different time period we do in each year in just a little bit, but basically what I find quite well done in our program is that what we see in history of costume matches what we do in costume workshop, which means that the period matches, and it's kind of like, you know, to middle age and then to kind of like after Renaissance and then the 19th and 20th century to finishing our third year. So I find that it's quite a nice structure, that it follows per group, progresses through the year, but that it matches what we do in history of costume and in workshops. Here you are, a little bit of everything with school, but draping was really fun and I'm excited for next week. I mean, it's nice that we dipped our toe into it and I realized that it's fine and that I like it. Good discovery. And this week, no, as you're watching this, I'll have finished, but this week I have my history of costume exam and I loved this class so much. It was such a lovely class. I would have had happily like double the amount of hours of it because I found it so interesting. So yeah, so the exam's coming, which means the course is ending and I'm super sad. Really looking forward to next year. That we kind of like finishing the Middle Ages and then doing Renaissance, and then in the last year of school it's going to be 18th and 19th century. So looking forward to that like crazy, really looking forward to that. When I had dips in motivation for school, I was like, think of history of costume in the next 2 years, it's going to be so good. So loved that and not feeling too stressed for my exam. I mean, I'm working for it, but feel like it'll be fine with a bit of work. Milo, you're such a nuisance, you're such a distraction. Are you even like caring about what I talk, or are you just looking at the corgi? Okay, I'll actually, my god, you're looking at me so intently. I'll actually cut to past Noémie. I originally thought I would put this book section at the end of a video, but then I realized it really doesn't flow to have a video about like a specific topic and then at the end stick something about something totally different. And that's how I realized I have to give myself this extra video with a bit of space to talk about what I want to talk about, because otherwise every video had a weird like bonus end section, which is just not the right place. So yeah, so originally filmed to be stuck at the end of a video, but in the end giving it to you now. I wanted to quickly show you a little book notebook collection. How can I not mention this? I can't not have a video that mentions this. My birthday is early January, so I received this diary from my wife. This is the Frankie diary and I already had this one last year, but obviously this is the new design. I wanted to show you the January spread, how beautiful. The one last year, I had bought it actually when we were over in Australia, but this year my wife found, I think, a shop that was reselling it in Europe. So she got it directly delivered here because we were not in Australia this year. But I mean, look at this color. You can't say that this is not just a Noémie notebook. And last year it was also really a Noémie color. The Frankie magazine diary. I know it's late to saying this. It's basically the end of January, but I absolutely love it. The way I use it, I actually have those clips from watercolor and I kind of clip the sides like this so it stays open. So as you can see, there's a clip there and a clip there, and so this way it sits on the table like this and stays open quickly. I also got birthday money, and with that birthday money I bought the knitting bag of tricks, and I still need to read this, but to be honest I also need to restart knitting. I haven't knit since, let's not even say it, but I need to get back into knitting, and I have also this book now to help me with it. I also have a pattern drafting book coming. It hasn't arrived yet, but it's also something I got with my birthday money. So when it's there, so excited about that one. You'll definitely know about it. And actually in between, the last book has arrived. So this is Designing Clothes with the Flat Pattern Method from Sarah Alm. And I have to say, first time I like put my hands on this, I was a bit disappointed at the quality of the cover. It feels a bit like those print-on-demand books. Like the cover is really soft. Like it doesn't feel like a book. You see what I mean? Like it feels like it's just kind of like printed. So I was a bit disappointed about that, but realistically, I think the book is really going to bring me what I want. If you have been here for a while, you know that I had got that draping book, which in the end I realized did not really answer my wants. And I think this is. So basically you create a sloper. This is how every good pattern starts. And then they show you how to modify your sloper to make different things. Here it's bodice foundation, so how to change to different dots, a few skirts option here, etc. Pants modification, that's quite exciting. So yeah, so this basically allows you to start from a sloper and then make a whole bunch of things from a flat pattern. No, that's so cool. I'm really excited by this. I think it's going to be a great learning opportunity. I need to see when I'll have the time to do some of those patterns. Like, this is definitely not the easy route of buying a pattern and going with it. It's a make your own type of thing, but I feel like it's something I want to learn. So very excited with this, and obviously as I work with it, I'll let you know how it goes and, you know, if I think it's worth you getting or not. And the reason why I got this one is that I actually saw it at a friend's and flicked through it. I don't think I would get one of those books without having had like my hands on it and actually flicked through it first, but I did and I thought it was quite good. And this one is an older book and I actually received it. I was with a friend and the book was there and I kind of like flicked through it and I was really like, this is amazing. And I'm not saying that it's the best fitting book, but it works exactly like my brain works. And I feel like sometimes, the same with tutorial, it's not that one tutorial is the best and better than all the others. It's just you need the one that's going to click with you. And this book clicks with me. So the way it works, if I show you one page, it always shows the issue and kind of like how you solve it. So like diagnosis and then solution. And that works really well with me. And I was flicking through this and thinking how amazing it was and how I probably wanted to buy it. The inside feels quite dated, like the layout, you can feel like it's not a super new book. But was thinking, wow, this book looks amazing. And my friend's like, oh, do you want it? And I was like, what do you, do I want it for me? And she was like, oh yeah, I actually have 2 copies. So if you want, you can have one of my copies. And I was like, yes, I will. So I have this now and I'm absolutely thrilled because I think with the fact that for school I'm going to have to do made to measure, you can't really just study every single adjustment you could do for anyone ever. But now it's all in here and I feel like this is going to become such a valuable work companion in my coming, I wanted to say career, it sounds very serious to say that, but I feel like in the years to come, this is going to be used a lot and I'm very excited. Disclaimer, I haven't read it yet, so just, like I haven't used it yet, but I'm excited to see where the future takes us both. And I'll go very quickly because those 2 books are in French, but I have this one that my history of costume teacher has lended to me, and it's Erratum, and it's by, what's his name, Julien Magalès, and he basically looks at movies and he comments the movies on the accuracy of the costume. He has a very sarcastic way of writing and you need to like it or you don't. I find that I'm learning a lot reading this, but also it's quite an entertaining read, but it's in French again. And another one in French, which I'm really enjoying, is Sapé comme jadis. And this is actually the title. It's also quite sarcastic way of writing in the end. The title is actually called Dressed Like Before, and there's actually a song that's quite well known in French which is called Sapé comme jamais, which means dressed like never before, and so it's the pun of like dressed like never before, dressed like before, and so no, it's like dressed like before, so it's looking at famous outfits. So it can go from like very old things like Egyptian costume to more recent things. Very interesting. Again, it's in French, but I find it very fun. Every page is a different outfit and it's just like a quick snippet about why the outfit is interesting. If you find any of those books interesting, let me know. I've received my first brand deal. That feels fun. I am not taking it because I don't think it's a good fit for me or for you. Oh well, I just wanted to say, feels like a milestone, my first brand offer that I'm not taking, but we can still celebrate that it has been offered. I was reading this book about famous clothing and famous people, and I've just finished the part over dictators, and I'm happy that's over. With the current news, it was quite heavy to read all of the dictators one after the other, and obviously they all do the same thing, they try to control clothing. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, when is that part over? It's a bit heavy to read. I feel like many people would think that clothing are quite a frivolous subject, but it's not. It's political, it's part of revolutions, and it's definitely a tool dictators use as well. Another thing I want to show you after the fun dictator moment, by the way, this is the queen, this is not a dictator. Oh, rest in peace. I saw a friend yesterday and she gave me this for my birthday. Isn't it so cute? It's 2 strawberries. I was really like, oh my god, that is absolutely so cute. And I have history of costume exam today, and I thought I'm wearing my new lucky strawberry socks to go to the exam. I mean, there's no way. They're so cute. Oh, that's a good birthday present. You also know you are 32 when socks become very exciting present to receive, but oh well. Okay, next I have a little fabric haul. The second box here, this one I've had for a few days. So I actually saw the fabrics that are inside, but the one on top here, I just went to pick it up now. And so I just wanted to like snip it open to be able to open it on camera and that you would have my live reaction to the fabric. But basically when you slit it open, you get a peek of the fabric straight away. So I saw the fabric as I was opening the box, and the disappointment is great. The disappointment is massive, and I'm at the point where I'm like, do I even use it? Do I find something else? I'm pretty upset. It's not at all the look I wanted. I'm so upset. Like, the colors are really not, like, it went from something that was exactly what I like to really not my style. I will show you on screen what I plan to buy. And this, oh my god, it's not going to look right on camera, is it? Okay, that footage is actually hilarious because I'm trying to show you how upset I am about this fabric, and it's basically the same on screen as what was in the advertisement online. Now I realized clearly the lighting of the other day was really exactly the same as what they had to take the photo with. So I'll make sure I show it to you with a color correction so you can understand a little bit better what's happening. So first, I interrupted filming the other day. I was feeling very grumpy, and even though I presented the fabrics I'm going to show you now, I could really tell afterwards, looking at the footage, I was like way too grumpy, and it's not a super good vibe. So I wanted to refilm the last few fabrics here to film them in a better state of mind. And this, I have in between given it a really good thought. I've also tried to put it under water, and it is quite waterproof. Like, it's not waterproof, but it is a bit water repellent, which I think is going to be fine for what I need. I have 3.5 meters. Like, what would I do with 3.5 meters if I don't do project I intended for it? Just want to show you because I have the zipper, which actually in the end matches quite well with the actual fabric I got, and the bias tape, which does not match at all. But at this point, I think it's just going to be what it is, and you know, it's just a suit bag. I think when the fabric arrived, it was really a surprise and not matching my expectation. Now I'm getting used to it. Yeah, it's definitely not what I dreamed of, but I think it'll be fine. And Francesca said quite rightly that it's wicked colors. I mean, again, like, then the blue bias tape kind of ruins the whole thing, but it's 7.5 meters of bias tape, so I'm not rebuying that either. So yeah, that's going to be my suit bag for this year. Next up, we have the fabric I have chosen for my underskirt. So this is also, I believe, 3.5 meters or 3.2 meters of fabric. And yeah, it's going to be worn like this with the stripe this way. And this was very cheap. It's a fairly heavy cotton. Francesca was laughing at me and she was like, did you buy this in like upholstery section? I swear I haven't. It is a garment fabric. I mean, it's quite thick, but it's still a garment fabric, and I think it's fine. For the underskirt, I imagine that it's also good if it has a bit of structure, and also this way it's not going to be see-through. So I thought that this fabric would give a bit of a vintage flair to my underskirt, so quite happy with that. This fabric, a bit the fabric of shame. I should not have bought it. Basically, it's the fabric I was originally going to do my suit bag out of, and then friends from school were like, maybe you should get something waterproof, which I agreed with, and so I ordered that one. But before I ordered this, and so basically, because it was in my basket and I had chosen it for my suit bag, I couldn't say goodbye. You know, I had chosen it and I thought it was very pretty, a very Noémie type of green with a very pretty light peach pink. And yeah, basically I still bought it despite not needing it for the suit bag. So it's a little bit of a shame, but I got the meters I need for the underskirt because I wasn't too sure. The one I just showed you here was very cheap online, and I was like, when you buy your fabric online, you're never fully sure what you're going to get. So I thought this would be my plan B for the skirt. And now seeing the fabric that came, I think it's totally fine. But let's imagine that my teacher would find the fabric maybe a bit too thick for the skirt. Then I could always use this as my plan B. So, you know, better safe than sorry. And I really thought if I don't use it for school, I'll use it to make something for myself. It's a fairly stiff cotton. I feel like you could make a pretty structured dress, like it's not see-through at all. So remains to be seen what happens with that one. I feel like for someone who does not have a stash, I mean, I have a fair amount of fabrics. You might think, like, especially now, I bought quite a few for school, for myself, for my projects, but you might be like, you have so many pieces of fabric lying around. And I do, but everything has a clear purpose, and this one doesn't. Does that make it my first piece of stash? But yeah, I kind of just got swept up by how pretty this is. It kind of reminds me vaguely of a William Morris. Do you see that as well? Ah, so pretty. No regrets. Okay, and the last piece of fabric I got for €3 a meter, which, what a bargain, really. And it's a Japanese cotton, and I was like, oh, it just makes me feel like it's dreamy and exotic because it's Japanese, basically. It's also a very Noémie type of blue. It's lightly lavender blue. It's really not violet or mauve, but it's still in the blue. But it definitely has this hint of lavender in it. And actually with this, okay, I'll tell you because we amongst friends, but I'm basically preparing a whole series on shirt making. I'm going to test 4 different shirt patterns. So you'll have 4 videos about each of the patterns separately, and then you'll have a roundup at the end comparing all of the different patterns and kind of ranking them. So this is the fabric for one of the shirt patterns I'm going to try. So 2021, the year of shirt making for me apparently, and this is such a lovely fabric. It has such a nice feel. You can already see in the way it floats, it's going to have such a nice drape. I can't wait. I think it's slightly see-through, like it's definitely going to be a very light shirt, but I'm kind of picturing like maybe wearing this above something. Oh, it's going to be so nice. I'm very excited about this. Lovely. Well, so now I have 2 special guests. The most important one is Milo. There's also you.
Yep.
I feel like people are used to seeing you around here by now.
Yep.
I have some fabric for you that you chose, but you've never seen in real life.
No.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
So basically they know I'm making a shirt series, and because I'm making quite a few, I don't need a million shirts. So I'm making one for you. And one of the fabric, you had chosen 2 fabrics online, and one of them...
2 possible fabrics.
Yeah, I was supposed to choose between the 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was supposed to choose between the 2, but
yes.
One, there was only 90 centimeters left, and I was like, do you want a blouse?
Yes, but I mean, you didn't have to get both, but in the end there was only 90% made for one, so then one is going to be a blouse and one's a shirt.
Yeah, I feel like you just found a way to get 2 things made for you. But...
exactly.
So...
Ooh,
this is your shirt.
Wow. Do you like it, Milo? Think it's going to look good?
This is a viscose from... Oh, I forgot the name of the brand.
Isn't it Atelier Brunette?
No, it's... Both of them are from Églantine et Zoé, which is a fairly expensive French brand.
but it was on special.
It was 50% off, so.
Yeah.
Bye! So yeah, so that's for your shirt.
Very nice.
Are you happy?
Yep. The plan is to have a shirt that I can wear to work. I always wear singlets under my shirts anyway, or on top of things in summer, like as a kind of cardigan, but just a shirt to go over like short sleeve things.
Yeah.
But it's very nice.
It has a very nice feel, doesn't it?
Yep. And it's my colours, in case anyone was doubting.
Well, and the next one is exactly in the same colorway.
Yep. Yay!
That's your
It's
blouse.
the same brand, right?
Yeah, it's the same brand.
Yeah.
It's the same collection. The background fabric is the
Yeah.
same.
It's goes this way.
Yeah.
It's got little plants. Very nice.
Yeah. So that's the end of my fabric haul, and I keep
Yeah.
being like, now I don't buy anything anymore, and then, but like, yeah, here it was the sales, so I felt like there was a few things.
This is strange.
Are you ready?
I'm just putting my head on.
Didn't you screw it on before coming?
Oh yeah, I'm all done now.
We did 2 creative things this month.
Mm-hmm. Two.
One, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was also in January. Yeah, true.
We did some painting on ceramics, which is a present I gave you, which was an humbling experience.
No, we did painting on ceramics, which was a present I gave you.
Yes, and it was an humbling
for Christmas.
Yes.
It was a humbling experience.
Because it's really hard to make the paint smooth.
Yeah, I mean, part of that was probably we had not very good brushes because it's the brushes that were in the cafe. Basically, it's a ceramic painting cafe, so you order your drink and then you paint your thing and then they fire it for you and you go pick it up later. It's like it's hard to get the right thickness if you don't know how it works. So
Yeah, but I think even though the pieces are not perfect, they look quite nice.
mm-hmm.
And it's fun. It was a fun
Yeah.
activity to do some painting on ceramics.
Yep.
And
Are you
then
gonna put photos of what we did?
yeah, I'll put they'll have seen
They'll know.
by now.
Okay.
And so that was the first thing we did, and the
Yep.
second, just behind you actually, we did some tufting. And that was a present from me to you.
Yes, that
Yeah.
one was the one you got me.
And
Very fun. Very
I
nice.
was positively surprised by how easy it was.
Yeah. We watched Sophia Nygaard do it and also Mia Maples, so 2 YouTubers trying it. Sophia went to like a tufting place to do it like we did. Mia Maples just bought a gun and did it at home, and it made it look a bit more difficult than it ended up being.
Yeah, the video
They
with
were
Sophia,
really scared
it
about
looked
it.
like
Yeah.
it was really hard, and the shaving in the end she didn't do it herself and they did it for
Yeah.
her because it was like so touchy, and like here we did everything.
Yeah.
The only thing she did for us was putting the latex at the back because she was like just faster.
Yeah, yeah.
But
The
so I was
rest,
kind
yeah.
of surprised by how easy it was, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
they're perfect.
No, but
but-
it's very forgiving because like on
Yeah.
the back, so for anyone who doesn't know what tufting is, it's like when you make your rug and basically you work back to front, and so it's a canvas and you like punch it through with a gun, and the gun snips the yarn on the other side to make little tufts. And on the back where you're working, it looks really dodgy.
Mm.
It looks like it's going to be uneven, etc. But like when it comes out the other side, it expands because it's like a carpet, and so actually you can mess up quite badly, and you can't actually see on the front. And
Yeah.
so then afterwards you cover it up on the back anyway. So like even if you've got little holes where you accidentally like pushed the canvas too much or whatever, like it is covered up, so it doesn't matter. So it was very forgiving. I just shaved mine not very well,
Yeah.
but it's going to hang on the wall anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we still need to figure out how to hang them.
Yeah.
But what was funny is that we were like, oh, we're going to, because we were like, they're gonna hang next to one another on the wall, so we wanted to have a unified color palette so
Yeah.
that they would work together.
But that
And
didn't
we
work.
struggled to agree on a color palette,
Mhm.
so we have 2 different moods
Yeah.
on our carpets, but
Mhm.
I think they still work fine together.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, it's like us.
Yeah. True.
So
That's
yeah,
fun.
so
Could recommend.
So first you decide on your designs and you decide on your colors, and then you draw that on your canvas,
Yeah.
and then you start tufting with your gun. And that's kind of a sewing machine in the sense that it moves forward for you, so you just kind of need to follow it along.
Mhm.
Do I explain well?
Yeah.
You look
Well,
unsure.
it's not like a sewing machine. It acts in the same. When you press the gun trigger, it moves forward.
Yeah, but I was really worried about how to
Mm.
have them even like she did. Because
Yes,
she never said it
you
moves
tucked
forward.
in lines,
And
so
it's
it
going
moves
to
forward.
be like if you're sewing and you're like, how do I get my stitches even? It's like, well, the sewing machine
Does it
moves for you,
Yeah.
and this thing
Yeah.
moves for
Yeah,
you as
that's
well. And I feel like I had never heard that before I specifically asked.
Yeah.
So it's easy to have it even because you just follow the thing that
Yes.
moves forward. You just need to not go backward.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you glue the back, cut your canvas off, and then you just stick a little, backing
Yeah.
just so that it's a bit clean, and then you shave it.
Yep.
And
With a razor.
yeah, it's basically just a razor, and you go and you kind of
Yeah.
make sure that it's
Flat.
smooth.
Yep. And these are not designs we made, these were designs she had.
Yeah.
So we picked the colours, but we copied her designs. She had a bunch of kind of...
Yeah, the other people came with their own
Yeah,
plans.
there were 5 of us, and two of them had their own plans, had their own designs. So
But I had seen her sort of designs, and I knew
Yeah.
that I liked her style.
Mm.
And then she gives it a really good vacuum.
Yeah.
And it's really nice when it's vacuumed because the colors have kind of all mixed in
Yeah.
because of the fibers and everything. And she vacuums it, and then it's all nice.
Yeah.
What would you say about tufting? Would you recommend?
Well, it was quite expensive. It's quite expensive if you do a thing, but it's fun, and you end up with a fun carpet, and it was low... What's the word?
Stakes?
Low effort.
Ah.
I mean, it's not a very steep learning curve. It's not very difficult, and high payoff.
Yeah, I would say if you have a sensitive back, I found it pretty challenging, and I pretty much had to work fast to then give myself a lot of breaks. And I also asked for a stool, which I was allowed to have, but so I kind of had to work on the top of my I was strategic with working on the top of my canvas to then be able to sit and do the bottom of my canvas. And pieces like this one, which normally you would do in one go, I actually did in 2 blocks to be able to sit a little bit.
Yeah.
So
if you needed to, you could also ask for it to be lower down to the ground, and I'm sure they could do that if you needed to in advance. So.
yeah, but just when we say it's easy, I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you
It's still
are
quite physical.
carrying a gun.
Yeah.
Can we say this word on YouTube? I don't know. You are carrying a yarn shooting tool. Happy with the result, Don? Yay! Okay, you can go back to work. Don't need you anymore. I think I'm going to finish this vlog video, not really a vlog, but I kind of intend those monthly ones to be a little bit vloggy. Here I decided a bit late that I really wanted to do it, so it was more sit down and show you a lot of things, but this might be vloggy in the future. But finishing this monthly creative roundup here, I have my exam. My exam is at 6 today, and so I feel like it's a really weird day where I wasn't going to study all day because I feel ready, but then also I feel like I can't do stuff because it's an exam day, so I need to be in the exam mood. I don't know, it's been really weird. I have worked on my patterns on my iPad on Procreate, and oh my god, like I'm so excited. This is so much fun. I am filming all of it, so at some point you'll have a video on how this is all going, but honestly at this point I want to print everything. Like I do a squiggle and I'm like, this is genius, this needs to be printed on a wall. So I do need to kind of calm myself down and realize that every stroke I do is not worth printing on a shirt, but I really have to be stopped at the moment. I'm so excited by everything, so trying to calm down. I also bought a new tinted moisturizer. If in the last few videos you were like, that girl is very orange, I think so too. I was really upset. I got the Garnier BB cream, that I had when I was young, and I really liked it and I loved the smell of it. But honestly, every time I saw myself, I was like, I look like a Oompa Loompa, and not loving the vibe. So I ended up giving it to my wife, who has a darker skin than I do. And I got back to an Yves Rocher cream, and I think it works better. It looks more like actual skin, which I'm very happy with. So I was literally like, I can't go to my exam looking orange. I'm going to fail if I look so brightly orange. So that's that. I think that's all of the news. Basically, finishing this, going to my exam, looking forward to seeing you next month for more creative stuff. Obviously, there's the videos in between, but for this format, I'm really happy to have given myself something a little bit more chill to have and to chat with you in a more chill way. I guess if you're still here, let's face it, you're probably a Strawberry VIP, but feel free to give me a like if you thought this video was nice and interesting, comforting, inspiring, anything. Can subscribe if you're not already, and don't forget that you can make anything. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! And wish me luck for my exam! The assistant is leaning on the fabric. Because I used wax. Oh my god, not gonna be able to say. I used waxed cloth